Hey, thank you for joining me on the Michael Tobin Show for this episode, this podcast, titled Jesus, Disaster Response, Florida Wildfires, Grid Outages, and 63 Ships and Korea. Hey, don't mind the spooky looking guy in the picture I have the link to in the info section, but why is Snopes waiting for confirmation from the Department of Homeland Security that the three events were unrelated and not suspect? What am I talking about? I'm talking about 3 power outages. Why wouldn't they simply be waiting for confirmation from the Department of Homeland Security if the 3 events were unrelated or suspect or not? Do you people get it yet? So I did some fact checking myself, and the only sources saying Los Angeles was part of the day's outages were mostly obscure, unheard of, or the typical whack job sources. But these whack job sources are correct quite often, with their main focus being an awareness of all other possibilities our mainstream media are not allowed to discuss for one reason or another. So what of it that Los Angeles' power outages was the day before San Francisco's and New York's? Oh, then nothing to be concerned about, right? Not. But do you get it that for some reason Snopes and our mainstream media sometimes trip up in their misinformation tactics once in a while, letting on to their true mission? Just look at what they're waiting for. Unbelievable. Not. Now, what about the thousands of Floridians who are under mandatory evacuation orders as more than 115 wildfires scorch the state that started Thursday, the same day as the Los Angeles power outages, and the day before the New York and San Francisco outages, which were yesterday, both in the same morning of Friday. That's yesterday. So see it like this. Yesterday, 2 San Francisco and New York large power outages. The day before yesterday, massive Florida wildfires and a Los Angeles group of power outages. Oh, and they're all coastal areas. Okay, look at it this way too. What I said above, and then something most of us still don't know yet. According to an April 21, yesterday, source, I'll post in the comments, on April 18th through May 5th, state, local, and federal organizations alike are planning for Operation Gotham Shield 2017, simulating a nuclear attack on the East Coast. This is based on an actual government source called the Nevada National Security Service, and they can be found online at their abbreviation with a GOV website. And the article goes further to note that in just a few days, during April 24 through the 26th, Operation Gotham Shield will commence. So on the 18th, the New York began preparation, and according to the above statement, the commencement is to begin 2 days from now, on April 24th of 2017. Meanwhile, 2 days after the planned preparation day began, the further above-mentioned Florida wildfires and the Los Angeles power outages, followed by the San Francisco and New York morning power outages the next day. And by the way, Florida is still burning. As of about 3 or 4 hours ago, according to reports, 13 homes in Lee County have been damaged or destroyed by a 400-acre wildfire. More than 2,000 homes are under a mandatory evacuation order in the county, which includes Fort Myers on the southern part of the Gulf Coast, where I had responded as a crisis chaplain back in 2003 after the multiple historical deadly hurricanes struck the same area 3 times in a row within a month. Further south in neighboring Collier County, a fire near the Golden Gate Estates section of Naples has grown to 5,500 acres. Mandatory evacuation zones includes more than 6,000 structures. 2 trailers, 2 vehicles, and several outbuildings have been destroyed, according to the Florida Governor's Office. Already on scene since yesterday are the state's National Guard, including 5 UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters. Well, Korea is happening. According to a report by South Korea's primary news outlet, Yonhap, the Pentagon has directed a total of 3 U.S. aircraft carriers toward the Korean peninsula, citing a South Korean government source. A friend of mine pointed out a few things, including 3 aircraft carriers include the 3 carriers as well as 20 additional ships each. And that is not including the Trident and other subs along the way. The carriers are the USS's Ronald Reagan, Carl Vinson, and the Nimitz. My friend Doug Krieger puts it this way, quote, "In case you're not aware who trucks with the USA aircraft carrier, try up to 20 additional war vessels. So having 3 aircraft carrier groups in Korean waters is 3 plus 60. That equals 63 ships, give or take. And then there's submarines like in Trident, who are so lethal it isn't funny. Just so you know, 1 American aircraft carrier group could take on the entire subcontinent of India, and 3 aircraft carriers, well, you just don't want to go there. The Nimitz is nuclear powered, weighs plus or minus 100,000 tons, has 90 plus aircraft aboard and missiles coming out your ears. Each aircraft has around 5,000 personnel. You have no idea the power they possess." End quote. The Nimitz is an organ undergoing maintenance and training. The Vinson will be in Korea by the 25th. That's 3 days from now. And the Ronald Reagan is on its way now as I speak, from Japan, all towards South Korea. Let that all sink in now. Now take into account the many terrorist attacks between the United Kingdom since 2005 and the 9/11 attacks in 2001 that occurred during the same time as our domestic security department's terrorist trainings. Way more than mere coincidence. Okay, friends, I'm ending this broadcast like this. If you haven't got Jesus, now's the time. Jesus said, "Learn of me." In Matthew's Gospel, chapter 11, verse 29, Jesus said, "Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls." Read that dusty Bible, or go get a free one from a church, or go get you one from a Christian bookstore. Read some of my previous blogs, and you can see what I've already broadcast and wrote about on how these are all tied into biblical prophecy. But until the next broadcast, I'm going to let all this sink in a bit myself before either my next subject or possibly a part 2 of this one. But I need to stop as I'm limited to 15 minutes per broadcast on my small site I'm currently on, and laying low on the one I'm a guest on that is unlimited, but till further notice there are things happening and I'm not yet able to continue on there. But it's imperative for me to obtain listener support for what I've also mentioned previously about full-time availability broadcasting and disaster response with the Billy Graham Rapid Response Team and Samaritan's Purse. I can't always depend on my guest site depending on who may be needing to broadcast all at the same time, and with my own, there will be nobody waiting in line to do their shows. And on the ministry field, my broadcast will be mostly time-sensitive for the sole purpose of the time-sensitive things of God. So it would be a tremendous blessing to have sponsors and backup. I already have a very cutting-edge concept for my show that is sure to be a certifiable sensation. but it needs to be under wraps until I have the assurance of assist, if I can borrow a basketball term. All my broadcasts from this podcast site are stored on my YouTube at www.youtube.com/user/enquire-of/videos. If you would like to support me to travel to domestic disasters such as now Florida, or Texas, Louisiana, and other states' floods, fire, and other disasters, and to help me with a premium podcast subscription for broadcasting unlimited amount of shows instead of limited 5 hours total, where I have to delete podcasts in order to make room for more, you may do so through several ways. One is by purchasing my book, Making America Righteous Again, From Bitterness to a Delight. And you can go to Amazon.com and search my name, Michael D. Tobin, and that book will pop up. Also, you may go to my link at PayPal. That's www.paypal.me/MichaelDT, and simply give as you are able. And also, you may see more detail at my GiveSendGo account. That's at www.givesendgo.com/MichaelDTobin. And I even have a GoFundMe account. That's at gofundme.com/almost-homeless-missionary. And my blog site is www.michaeldtobin.blogspot.com, where I log my most hard-hitting stuff. So thank you again, and God bless you.